Reverend Herbert Daughtry is the minister for the Pannell family. Their 16-year-old son, Phillip, was recently gunned down by police in suburban Teaneck, New Jersey. That's sort of days of racial disturbances in that town. Yesterday, it was cop killers. Today, the flip side. Killer cops, the focus of this edition of Geraldo. Let me go right to the Reverend Herbert Daughtry, a noted civil rights activist. He is representing here today the Pannell family, the family who tragically lost their teenage boy to a cop's bullet in Teaneck, New Jersey, not far from here, just across the George Washington Bridge. First, sir, what happened to that youngster? Was he engaged in criminal activity?
No, he was not. He, along with some of his friends, were in the park playing basketball when, according to the officers, they received a call that somebody had a pistol, revolver. The officers came, two of them. According to witnesses, Phillip Jr., along with several other persons, ran away, and the officers chased Phillip, cornered him. One officer, Gary Spath, cornered him and shot him in the back, according to witnesses, with his hands up.
Was he doing anything menacing?
According to the witnesses, no.
Do you feel that this is a specific tragic example of a more general problem?
Yes, I think across the years, it is not the first time. I mean, I go back, I can remember Randy Evans, 1976, shot in the head by Robert Tosney. I remember Clifford Glover in Jamaica several years before. I remember Claude Reese in Brooklyn, 14 years old. I remember Ricky Borden in Staten Island, 11 years old. So across the years, we've seen policemen killing African-American children and Latino-American children.
Does race really figure into this?
I would argue yes. It's hard to think of anything within American society without at least race playing some part, sometimes blatantly, sometimes subtly. But race is always a factor. The fact of the matter is, I do not recall, and I stand to be corrected, that African-American officers have killed white children, grandmothers, and mothers. And I stand to be corrected, but I've been at this a pretty long time, and I don't remember. And by the way, one other thing, and other officers, unless just recently, what happened recently, but what we have is the extraordinary fact that African-American officers have been killed by other officers.
Right, let's not move off the point of minority youngsters. You say, are they fair game to cops who are frightened by the danger out there? Is that what you're alleging?
Well, I don't know. I can't know what's in officers' mind. I guess given the fact that African-American youth, African-American people have been projected a certain way, I suspect that there is a certain fear, and the trigger finger may become ever so fast as they see an African-American. But I think we all a part of a social order in which the legacy has been black humanity is demoted, is treated less than white humanity. That is the legacy with which we all live.
You wouldn't buy that, would you, Rocky Bridges?
No, I don't.
Much decorated officer. He's had 4 near brushes with death. He comes from San Jose, a community whose ethnic mix is not unlike that one here in New York City.
You know, in responding to his, there's you know, I'm getting the flavor from his conversation that he's, you know, suspects genocide, and that's not what's taking place. Policemen are out there trying to do the job the best they can. They want to go home just like everybody else wants to go home. As you mentioned, I was in 4 gun battles, and of the 4 that I was in, not one time was I allowed to get the shots off first. I was always in second place. One time I was pushing a lady out of the way when the first 2 shots were fired at me, one of them piercing my shirt before I got it off. 3 men.
May I ask you, Rocky, in each of the cases, I don't know, I'm just asking, what were the races of the people involved?
2 white and 2 Hispanic. Well, take that back. On the ambush, there were 3 Hispanics when they ambushed me.
Do you think a cop is more likely to shoot a black than a white?
No.
Really, Rocky?
depends on the neighborhood that you work.
But because of the nature of the neighborhood and the reality of race in America.
When I went to trial, against the guys that ambushed me, I was accused of being a racist cop for having arrested a large number of Hispanics. When you work in the barrio, that's who you arrest. If you work in Harlem, you're going to deal with blacks. It depends on the neighborhood. It depends where the crime is.
Yes, we have met with police commissioners and have made all kinds of suggestions to them going back to conscious years. A moment ago, we poo-pooed the idea of blacks patrolling blacks. In our suggestion, what we were saying that it is scientifically in order that if something isn't working, you do a pilot project. That means you take a community, say Bed-Stuy, say what happens if black police officers can patrol it? Maybe nothing would happen. We don't know until we try that. Secondly, we're not talking about life-threatening situations. I mean, I've been at this. Randy Evans was a 15-year-old kid. The officer walked up. He said, "Yo, man, well, he shot him in the head." Clifford Glover was 11. No, we're not talking about that life-threatening. Mrs. Bumper, they didn't have to go in the house. They went in with shields. They went in with 12-foot cattle prod. They went in with mace. They had pistols, and they used the most lethal weapon.
Are you saying the cops are racists?
Well, they used the most lethal weapon that they could find. We're not talking about. We're not talking about life-threatening. You know, Ronaldo. They have subdued mad dogs. Geraldo. I'm sorry, forgive me. I ought not to. But they all look alike. Yeah, they have subdued mad dogs and felt proud about it. They captured snakes without killing them. But when it comes to African Americans, it seemed that all too often the trigger finger moves too swiftly.
What about that, Rocky? Isn't that so?
We all look alike, right?
Two points. He talked about the youth of the one kid. I had a 15-year-old girl come within 2 inches of shooting me in the face. 15-year-old girl. On another incident, I just got out of the car to talk to two men. Thought it was fairly quiet and routine. A third man who was hiding, deliberate ambush, stepped out from behind a wall, shot me point blank in the chest from 8 feet away with a 12-gauge shotgun. While I was laying there, one of the other two came up and stood over me and fired 4 or 5 more times down into me as I tried to roll away and avoid it. Ultimately was able to shoot back and save my own life. But, you know, I've listened to these people, you know, and sure, accidents happen. But when a cop is shot, it ain't no accident. We are gunned down deliberately by people trying to kill us. It's no accident. It's no mistake. It's somebody who's out to prevent me from going home with my family, and I'll be damned if I'm going to let it happen.
Good, man.